Yo, peace, peace. Technical difficulties are amazing. But yeah, we're back. Chad is about to hop in. Ron is right here. We'll bring him in. That was not the end of the show.
Oh boy. Yeah, we back, folks.
Holy moly, that's good stuff.
Oh man.
So this is episode 73.1.
Technology turned heel once again, man.
One more time for the one more time. That's crazy. Um,
All right, so
so
you
wait, there go Chad
yeah.
right there.
Okay.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Welcome back, 73.1, episode 73.1. Where do we leave off? Talking about the Rumble, right?
Yeah, talking about
Yeah.
the moment, the last one, the moment you were just talking about. What's her face, Bianca and Jade in the
Right.
in the
Yeah,
ring.
no, that was pretty much my favorite moment of this year's Rumble. One of my favorite moments, like that standoff, and then the the R Truth hot tag was funny
Oh
as hell.
man,
But
listen.
if I'm showing something to somebody that doesn't watch wrestling regularly, that mirror match, that Sub Zero versus Scorpion, Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill standoff, man, everybody knew what that was as soon as they were in the ring. You heard the crowd. So
Word,
They
word,
was
word.
on
what would
a crowd was going pretty fucking good, honestly. Like, gotta be one of the better women's rumbles just because they focus on the present and the future as opposed to Molly Holly Lita in the past.
Right. I was just about to say is that you
right?
didn't really see any run-ins from legends or anybody like that. It's pretty much straight up the current roster right now. So wasn't mad at that. So still
When I was
entertaining.
talking to Keeks before we started the show, that's the same thing that she said. She said, like, this is, the first time. She said WWE fans have to get used to not seeing yesteryear's stars. Like,
Right.
this
Yeah.
is new territory for those fans that are looking for, somebody from 10 years ago to make a return or whatever, or a
Right.
Agreed.
surprise
And,
entrance.
and you don't and you necessarily don't need that to be entertained. It's a cool thing, but like I really didn't miss that. So I'm like I was good with however it was.
Right.
All right. So for me, kind of similar to to your moment. I have two of them. My moment was Jay Cargill lifting Nia Jax the over the top rope, and this is just for like just Jay Cargill, and I don't want not a weird comparison, but I'll tell a fan like yo, listen, this is like one of the best things like since like China, like just built in stature and just character and stuff like that. So it's like if you everybody people knew about China. Some people knew about a lot of people knew about China in WWE and then about some of the things that she did outside of WWE. So I'll feel like okay, this be like the next kind of like the next thing after China.
Next
So
version of that.
yeah, the
Yeah.
next version of her. And I was like, yo, if you see Jay Cargill like this now, you should expect some good things for her after the Rumble. I was like, yo, you should tap in to see her. The second moment was our truth running into the women's Royal Rumble, which was hilarious. And I'll tell a fan, I was like, yo, our truth is good for doing stuff like that. Like he's just goofy, he's delusional, he's just comedy. So if you just want to tune in for some good wrestling and some good comedy, our truth is a good place to start. So, did I have a third
Our
person?
Truth
Oh,
was one of the better parts of that fucking pay per view. I'll tell you that
yeah,
much.
it was
It was
hilarious.
only 4 matches, and Our Truth really did smoke it.
Yeah,
Both
absolutely.
matches.
He was the winner of the Rumble to me. You
Easily.
know what I mean? He
No
was the winner
facts.
of the
Easily.
Rumble. Like,
Easily.
I literally laughed out loud watching. Like, a hot tag in a Rumble is fucking funny. That's very smart writing. You know what I mean? That was good.
I don't think I've never seen that before.
Never gonna see
That
it
was
again.
yeah, all right.
Probably never gonna see it again. I want to say my favorite moment that I would show someone who isn't a fan, and I did have a chance to do it in real time during the pay per view. Jordan Grace making her WWE debut and coming over to join the WWE after Naomi makes a
Mhm.
return just an entrant prior, and they rekindle a feud that they had just Thursday
Couple days ago. Yep.
at another promotion. That's like playoff basketball and somebody's coming in from the G League who's actually mad nice and been going viral. They're like, yo, we need you on the Lakers real quick. Come through and give a little 10-day, man. You're going to ball up for us in the playoffs. Like, word? Him? That's crazy. Like, it's kind of like that type of feel. Like, some people didn't really, I didn't know. I didn't know how people were going to react towards Jordan Grace, but she smoked it. Like I think she was the best option.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nobody in the TNA Knockouts division could have done what Jordan Grace did. Look, debut, presence, aura. You know, I love the Knockouts division, but we could name fucking Tasha Steele, Havoc, Jessica,
Right. But I think
like
Jordan
those
Steele,
knockouts wouldn't have.
yeah, I think Jordan Steele was the one. I think she was probably one of the more well-known ones, I guess you can
That's
say.
because like Jordan Grace doesn't look like anybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
She like
yeah.
there's a lot of other people in any women's division in any company that look like they could just kind of fit in on the roster. Jordan Grace immediately, as soon as you see, like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like she
stood out.
looks like she's about to hurt something.
Everybody that I caught reports from was like, yo, she looked like she belonged. Like, holy shit. And that's kind of wild to say for like a champion of the rival under competitor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, she looks like she belongs here. Everybody said it. I don't think I saw any reports where it was like, that Jordan Grace shit was terrible. Like, I would show people that are
Yeah.
tapped in, like, yo, see the reaction that this one woman is getting just off of like 5 minutes of being in the ring for the first time in the WWE. Like, and she's a champion of TNA, like of another company. This is TNA's women's champion. Pat voice, like
Patrick
you know what I
in the
mean?
face
Like
ass.
I would easily show someone Jordan Grace's debut and tell them start from there, because just why and then just go back and watch her and Naomi days prior have a match
Which was
after
fire.
they had a match already. Like you'll see how serious that moment was for the crowd to react. And you heard a TNA chant in the WWE arena, which was surreal. You know what I'm saying?
That was dope.
Right.
Fucking surreal, bro.
You can
Shout
also
out to lifelong TNAers like myself, man. We here.
you can also tell a person trying to be a fan is like, yo, WWE is now starting to open their doors to other companies, so you can potentially see other people, you know, do stuff like this in future PLEs and
I
future
agree.
events and whatnot. So it's like, if you see the excitement here, imagine what's in store for the WWE in the future, you know, for this year. So so keep tuning in.
I agree. I agree. Fuck with it, man.
Word.
Overall, I pay-per-view. Be pay-per-view. I'm not gonna gas it and say that was the best
Yeah.
I've ever seen, but it was okay.
I didn't like it. I was bored.
Yeah,
I
just say
like
okay for
certain
the
moments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think it
like
was there for
certain
moments.
moments. But overall, like the men's championship, the Roman, the 4-way, I thought was, you know,
It was just
they
there.
did
It was
everything
cool.
that you knew that they were going to do because they've done it already, and then you knew
Correct.
Roman was going to win. So I thought that I didn't like that. I thought that Owens and Logan Paul is such a natural.
Killing it.
You know what I mean? I just think that they were kind of in a tough spot just based on crowd energy. Like you can hear somebody sneeze at different moments during different parts of the pay-per-view, you know, which is crazy to think about that being a Royal Rumble. Like they sound like a Monday Night Raw at different times, you know. And then the Rumble match itself, the women's Rumble was better, but even that, like I heard people saying this was like an all-timer. It was not. It was good at points. You know, there were good points. So even with the men's Rumble, it was good at points, but some of that stuff just was, you know, a little sloppy, a little slow, a little lazy.
Women's Rumble was better than the men's Rumble. I'll say that.
No,
Definitely.
it
Yeah, I agree
absolutely
with that.
was.
Yeah,
But
But
concur.
I think a lot of it has to do with, like, they really did an amazing job with the last, like, let's say 5 to 8 entrants, you know,
Yeah.
and then the way that they booked that last, you know, group of women, they did a great job, you know, with that. With the men, especially, like, look, prior, let's talk about Punk while we're here. Men's Rumble, CM Punk. As soon as CM Punk took that DDT, we were in the chat. I said Punk is hurt. He grabbed his arm. He's talking to the ref.
thought it would be a work. Thought it would be a
Couple.
good troll. It's like,
I
this
didn't.
guy's
Yeah, I
good.
wasn't even paying attention
No,
to
I
it, to be
didn't,
honest.
because when you get hit with a DDT, you sell your head. Why would you grab your arm after a DDT? That you know, immediately I was like, nah, something's wrong. And it turned out to be that we saw on Raw. You know, 2 days later,
Yep,
torn right
last-
tricep, same
yep.
injury he had in AEW on the left tricep,
Damn.
and he's
Okay.
out for,
Word,
you know,
word, word.
probably until maybe SummerSlam at best. But so I'll shoot bail as far as that last 5 minutes with him and Cody, but I don't think so in general, because like I said in the chat, I was like, I don't want to see this. Like, I don't want to see Cody. a lot of times with these battle royals or Royal Rumbles, it's cool to see previews of things that you might want to see later. This is what this would look like. And looking at Cody versus Punk, injury or not, I don't want to see it now. Because I don't think that their style, what they would do best is wrestle up to somebody's style, up to somebody's skill level that's probably better than either one of them.
You know what? Because they're both popular, so it's like
it's not that. It's not that. It's the way that they wrestle. They need somebody that has a different style. Cody and Punk, not moves, but
have a
speed.
WWE.
It's too much. It was
style.
way too slow.
Yeah,
A lot of chin locks. Yeah.
And the thing about WWE that works, you can wrestle that style if the crowd is up for it, right? We saw Hogan versus The Rock where there might have been 4 moves the entire match.
Couldn't even tell you how the match went, honestly. It was just so electric.
I don't even remember, yeah.
But the crowd made that an amazing
Right.
match. And if you're watching that on TV, it's like I would watch this again and again and again because goddamn, look at that atmosphere. If the crowd isn't up for a match that's wrestled in that style, it highlights how boring this shit is. You're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's all about, it has to be psychology and crowd. But, yeah. What were your overall thoughts in general about that or any other thing in the Rumble?
I am over the let's have a mini match after the Royal Rumble. I think it's getting fucking played out. Let's just get next year. Let's just like, yo, final 2, toss your ass over the rope. Oh, my God, the Royal Rumble's over. Like, please, let's get back to that. Like, that's what I would love to get back to. Like, Drew, Cody, Gunther, very good. We gave Cody and Punk a lot of slack, given the injury, the styles. I don't think we really wanted them to have, like, as long of a drawn-out little fucking battle they had. The last time I remember some shit like that happening was probably Shawn Michaels Undertaker when they had their match. Even when Triple H won 2016 Rumble, he just tossed Roman Reigns out of there and won the title. He came in, tossed him out, and won the belt. There was no, like, who's going to be the world heavyweight champion after this? After the final, it's like, nah, nigga, you're out of here. I'm winning. I want that. Like, I missed that part of the Rumble. Like, giving us the preview matches for, like, an extra 10 to 15 minutes. I'm like, yo, dog, let's pack this pay-per-view up, man. Let's pack this match up. We already established you an Iron Man. You done went the distance. Just surprise us and just toss him over the rope after. Like, if Cody would have just tossed Punk over the rope after Punk got Drew out of here, I would have been like, aha. That was good. Instead, it was like, let's be honorable men and have a match. It's like, oh, God. Here we go.
Yeah, that last 5 minutes for me kind of dragged.
Jimmy and Jay preview. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was probably one of the highlights of that match, to be honest.
I think Awesome Truth.
That was a nice surprise because I didn't know that they were 1 and 2. I don't know if they had mentioned that at any other point, but I didn't see it.
Nah,
they hyped it up. They hyped up them picking the numbers that they had. Like they gassed it.
Yeah, because when Jimmy picked his number,
I saw
he
it, but they never showed what the numbers were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they didn't. Yeah.
They just gassed the reactions.
Yeah.
So I think maybe Awesome Truth, Judgment Day, maybe more of that continuing.
I see that happening.
Typical Roman match, typical Roman ending.
Yo, what was your response after that? What'd you say in the chat?
I said I think it might be time. It might be time to pack this Roman.
Hey, you were right. I think I'm on your side now. Pack this up.
Yeah, I think it might be time to just, you know what I mean? Like, let's give us the feel-good ending to Roman Reigns' title reign, and let's just take it on from there, man.
Holy smokes. That's like the get up, and you said you had to get up and fucking vacuum and shit.
Yo, son, that was insane, bro.
That's crazy.
Insane ending, because it's like, yo, dog,
Solo Sikoa. Here he comes.
Man.
Like we didn't see that.
It's like, it felt like Attitude Era-ish with the like McMahon, Austin, Shane interference, but it's like, yo, dog, it's been like 4 years, and Solo ain't even been here 4 years, but it feels like it's been 4 years of the same. We didn't even have 4 years of Vince and Austin. Like, so it's like, this is like 4 years of the same like turnout, and he's only been here like 2 years probably.
Yeah.
What bugs me out, right, is how the announcers, Michael Cole will get on the microphone on commentary and talk about how great this reign is and how historic and how long he's had it. And nobody ever says you only have that title because your family interferes on your behalf. What kind of great storytelling are we doing if we're not highlighting the fact that this guy's a fraud as a champion in kayfabe. What one-on-one match has the greatest wrestler of all time, Roman Reigns, won by himself?
Clean. Yeah.
He's a
Good
fraud.
question.
That should be the
Good
story. He's a
question.
fraud.
But you know they're not gonna do that,
They're
man.
never gonna do it. It's like we're just ignoring what we see the next night because he's had the title for 3.5 years.
Right.
So
Just
Hulk
because.
Hogan, Bob Backlund, Bruno Sammartino,
Yeah,
fraud.
I hate that I'm with the majority, but like I feel like they're gonna surpass the Hogan reign. They're gonna keep
For what?
Jacob Fatu will debut before Cody wins the fucking WWE championship.
Yo, dog. You don't think Cody's winning at Mania?
No, I don't think he's winning.
Could you imagine another year of this shit, dog?
I can. I think Jacob Fatu will come over here.
I
Before
know.
Cody
I can
wins.
picture it in my mind. What I'm saying is, imagine
Actually, just going through it.
this
yeah,
happening
like,
for
yeah.
another year.
It'll
At
make
minimum.
people go, "Wow, Cody should have just challenged Seth for the title that he knows he can win because he's beaten Seth already 3 times." Which is a
Remember the
lot of
reign-
people's arguments. People are really like championing for Cody to go against Seth.
Why? That's never been what he wanted.
You've already beaten Seth, so you can easily beat Seth, be the workman's champion. You can do something your dad would have done. He would have wanted to be the workman's champion. Like I listened to the promo back and I just compared notes and I'm just like,
Nah.
I don't want
Nah.
this. I don't
First
want
of all, how whack does that make your world champion look when he's begging for a match? No. Pick me. You're the champ. Just sit
How-
still and
How whack is it that we'd have to watch them have a 4th match in 2 years and the second one at WrestleMania, and we know, or like how you just described the Punk shit is like, yo, Cody Rollins again? Like, what are they gonna pull out this time that we haven't already seen in 3 matches? High level matches, a Hell in a Cell,
with a
fucking
torn pec.
With a torn
with a
pec.
torn pec level of match. So it's like,
I was like, what
I
else can
just
you
don't
do?
see that being the case where Cody goes for the World Heavyweight title. I just don't want that to be the case. I really don't. I really don't want to be the World Heavyweight Champion. But it would be interesting. I think with the Seth injury now really adds a lot more intrigue to who is going to compete for the World Heavyweight title and who will be in the picture. There's a lot of good problems in the WWE main event wise. Like, let's be real. Like, there's a lot of good competition that can firmly be the champion tomorrow if they wanted to. Gunther, LA Knight, Shinsuke, Drew, Sammy, Kevin, Owens. There's mad people that really could be the World Heavyweight Champion tomorrow if they wanted to, which is not something I could say about AEW.
I'll give you Gunther out of that list.
KO could be World Champion tomorrow. Sami Zayn could be World Champion at WrestleMania. He could easily win at WrestleMania and have his moment.
They're
Drew
never
could
booking
win.
Sammy to win that title. Drew, sure.
Drew could win right now, and I think people would be very satisfied about Drew winning.
Yeah, Drew's there. Gunther's there. Sammy's never getting it again. Kevin Owens, I have no idea why he hasn't been in the title scene, so I could see him make one
I
last
think he's
run.
too injury prone, unfortunately.
Could be. He has a broken foot right now, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's just very injury prone.
Right.
He's a workhorse. He's working
so he-
hard, but he's injured a
Yeah,
lot.
he's not there. Who else did you mention? Shinsuke? I would like to see it, but that's not happening.
I thought it was going to be during this feud with Rollins. I was like, they're going to put it on Shinsuke.
So did I.
They heating him
I
up.
thought- I thought he was going to do it with AJ Styles. Didn't happen. I thought he was going to do it with Seth Rollins. Didn't happen. It's not happening.
AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, mad people could even cross over and go get the world title. There's a lot of people in that space that can be world heavyweight champion without even having to go touch Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you've now taken all of these people. There was some names, some SmackDown names that are now going to Raw to compete for the title while Roman just chills for another year. There's nothing.
He ain't gonna be around for. I mean,
Terrible.
shit. We know how this shit go, man. He ain't gonna be a chamber. He ain't gonna be a backlash. So it's like this is the universe that we're used to.
Yeah,
This is
just
the
push it to
universe we are used to
WrestleMania.
now.
Yeah.
Y'all have fun with that one. That's terrible.
Yeah, man, that's where we at with it.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. We'll see what happens.
Ryan, what you got?
All right. So, WWE 2K24.
Fire.
And you see, you got the colors up there. So I believe the left side is for the standard edition, and the right side is for the deluxe edition. I have no issues with the. And this is, I think this is like the 40th anniversary edition. So all 3 fire covers. All of them going to be released on March 8th, I believe. I'm not going to get into the details of the game. I will tell you this. I played 2022 and 2023, both fire. a few glitches in the 2022, but I fought through it, and they kind of corrected it in 2023. So I have no surprise. This is gonna be dope. Now, with this being said, I have no issues with the cover. This is dope. I like who's on the cover. However, so this is Black History Month, and this is the 40 years of WrestleMania.
Okay.
So I want us to take these guys off the cover, and I want you guys to choose a black wrestler that can be on the cover. It could be one person, it could be two people, but a black wrestler that has wrestled in the WWE. You can choose somebody that's from TNA who's been in WWE. Anybody you want, one person, two people, three people. I actually chose three people, and I mean,
Somebody's got to replace Brock Lesnar and Hulk Hogan, for being real. You know what I mean? Those two.
I'm
Apparently, Brock right
I'm,
now, you got to go.
This is the WWE.
right.
Yeah, Brock might have to get above the cover. It's crazy enough. They might really start. They might re-release this game in about 3 weeks. Like, yo, alternative cover for real, for real.
This is gonna be however many people was it? 15 people on here. It's gonna be 15 Dwayne Johnsons on this cover.
They're gonna put Mr. T on that motherfucker. They're gonna take
Yeah,
Brock
15
Lesnar
people.
off and put Mr. They're gonna put Lawrence Taylor on that shit. Like, yo, it's 40 years of WrestleMania.
Imagine they do that shit.
Main event at WrestleMania 10. Lawrence Taylor.
Oh my God.
Black
Yeah,
History Month.
Listen, I ain't thinking about 15 black wrestlers to put on this cover, so I thought about three.
Son, go for it.
So I'm going back to I'll say 90s, I guess.
Okay.
Going to the past a little bit. So first person I put on there is Ron Simmons or Farouk. With the first black WCW champion. Had a decent run with Nation of Domination. You got The Rock out of that, and you got the Godfather out of that. So, and then went on to be the Acolytes, and then the APA. So, and I always like the work that he did. That's the first person. The next person, I like Kofi Kingston. I like this singles run, but his tag team run is very memorable. What 13 time tag team champion.
Mm-hmm.
Had a very nice run as a world champion. I hope in the future that they put the belt back on him before he retires. I love that. And the last person may or may not agree with. I'm gonna put Keith Lee on there. I want it to be different, and I love Keith. I'm not a fan of his run too much in on the main roster because that was a little choppy. But I love this run.
It was Bearcat.
Yeah. So I'm basing it based off his run in NXT. I thought that was a phenomenal run. You didn't see too many black wrestlers who held two titles at one time. It was just dope.
That was Cap that gave that shit and made him fucking give a belt up.
Right.
I was like, they could have let my man rock for a double championship.
Right. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna forget that. Well, you can't forget that, but I loved his whole run there. So there's so many other black wrestlers that you can pick, but these are the favorite ones that I thought about. So what say you guys?
I'm going Mark Henry, House of Pain era. Mark Henry would absolutely be on this cover.
Okay.
Absolutely be on this cover. For
With
starters,
the world heavyweight title, big gold belt.
Yep, the big gold belt. Big gold belt. We already know what he did in the ring, World's Strongest Man, all of that, and then that salmon blazer segment, that fake retirement against Cena.
Yeah,
although
word.
it wasn't WrestleMania related, that's probably in my top 5 favorite Raw memories. Period. That was amazing. Hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
Hook, line, and sinker. Real tears.
Really good moment. Really good moment.
I remember that moment. Yeah.
So I throw him on there. We're picking one.
You can pick as many people as you want.
These are people that are in WWE, have been in WWE.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both. Either or. Don't matter. It could have
people,
been
I
in
guess
WWE.
Yeah.
Black wrestlers who've been in WWE or who are in WWE now, doesn't matter.
Or they weren't, or they never in WWE.
Or they were. No, they had to be in WWE.
Okay.
at one point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Ron Simmons was a great one because his singles height came in WCW, and then he did his thing influentially as a tag team guy and as a Nation of Domination guy. But that world title win against Vader, you can't beat that shit. You saw that crowd, Jim Ross screaming his head off, all that was popping. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at one for now because there's sad to say, but the pool gets shallower and
Yeah,
shallower.
it ain't but so many.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave it at one. House of Pain era Mark Henry.
Word.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be a nigga about it and go Crime Time.
Holy smokes.
You know what I'm saying? RIP my nigga Shad, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go Crime Time. I'll put Crime Time on the cover, man. JTG deserve that look. He over here in NWA just trying to hold it down the best he can, you know what I mean? And Shad, God bless the dead, he over there, Crime Time, I was there for the Crime Time era, man. I mean, I'm faintly, not as prominent as I was because I was more TNA during that time, but I knew who they were and I saw the gimmick. And I just felt like as stereotypical as it was mad relatable at the time. Like they related to mad people, especially from New York, in baggy jeans and Timbs who just wanted to come through and beat some ass in that era of OC. Real talk, you know what I'm saying? So I think Crime Time is very underrated as a tag team, as a group. I think they broke a lot of barriers. I think they were ahead of their time. Because right now I feel like we could see a gimmick like, fuck am I saying? Out the mud. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was like, yo,
Crime Time, like, crawled so Out the Mud and NXT could run. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they are definitely deserving of some type of, historic. You know what I compare Crime Time to? I can't say they like Michael Jordan, LeBron. Like, you're not going to say them big accolades, but, like, let's go, like, Skip to my Lou, maybe. Let's go, maybe.
Rafer.
Yeah, let's go maybe
Austin.
let's go maybe like J.R. Ryder. Let's go like, you know what I'm saying? Fucking John Starks, maybe? Rod Strickland? I'm not just trying to name New York niggas, but
nah, but the bottom line is they got busy, and those are people that you want on your team. Maybe not passing the ball in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, but those are the ones that probably going to D up the best player on the other team.
They got a reaction. They always get reactions.
Yeah,
they always get reactions. They got a name. They got a look. People can easily point them out and go, that's Crime Time. That's Shad and that's JTG. Right. I know who they are. That's Rod Strickland. Yo, that's Steve Francis. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't saying they're the best tag team of all time, but for what they did for black wrestlers, black people in that era, especially coming from New York, you know what I'm saying? I think they held it down, man. I'm only going to leave it at 1, 2, because we ain't got too many. Bobby Lashley probably 2.
Yeah, Lashley's there. Booker T should be there.
Easily.
Jacqueline. Miss Jacqueline.
Yo, it's crazy. I thought she would have made a Rumble appearance, yo. I thought she might have had a little.
She never came back. I thought you talking about this year or just in general? I thought she came back once or twice.
She might have came in, I think, last year or the year before, maybe.
Yeah, I don't. But Miss Jackie, Jazz.
Absolutely.
Some names up there. Fuck, Big E.
Return to WWE recently.
I was gonna say Big E, but
there's a few.
It's
definitely a few.
It's not a large amount, but there are a few guys. There are a few guys in there.
Sasha Banks.
She hasn't.
She
hasn't returned. She hasn't been back to WWE since, since the Hall of Fame.
Wow. Okay.
They don't call Jacqueline at all.
Sasha Banks probably the biggest name.
Too.
Yeah.
Right.
That was good too.
I was just trying not to pick names that everybody was gonna say. I was trying to be, different. Who was I personally like? Because I know a lot of people would say The Rock, Sasha Banks, Lashley.
Yo, fam, Jacqueline really was it was like a complete groundbreaker. Yo, she was a cruiserweight champion.
She was amazing.
She was a cruiserweight champion. I was there for that era. She actually held the cruiserweight title. I was like,
you know what was cool about that era for me, because I didn't have cable, right? But I used to buy all of those magazines, like Pro Wrestling Illustrated, The Wrestler, all of those. Like a lot of them were in black and white, and then the middle would have like the 4 pages of color or whatever.
Yeah.
And I always used to see like pictures of maybe in USWA, like some of those down south or mid south promotions. I would always see pictures of Jackie, and I'm like, yo, she looks crazy, like muscles on top of muscles.
OD.
Like she in some of those action shots, like the look on her face. So to finally get a chance to see her in WWF, later WWE, was like, yo, I can finally see what what I think I've been seeing in these magazines, and she lived up to the hype.
Yo, dog,
Lived
real
up to the
quick, while
hype.
we're on the Jacqueline topic, she was ranked number 249 of the top 500 wrestlers in the PWI 593.
There you go.
I didn't know that.
Ranked
That's a
number
thing.
17 at the top 50 female wrestlers in the PWI Female 50 in 2008. 17 out of 50, which maybe for the 2000 era wasn't that fucking good. But 17 is pretty fucking solid in 2008.
I was about to say, like, she was up.
You know what
You
I
know what I mean?
mean?
Either way, she was up.
Yeah. Women's champion, cruiserweight champion, WWE Hall of Famer, multiple time, you know what I'm saying? USWA, World Wrestling Council champion, women's champion. Jacqueline definitely deserves her flowers. Jazz, like, there was a lot. Alicia Fox is funny enough. She held it
She
down
get
for
the
a while.
R-Truth spot.
Yeah, she held it down for a while when there was no belief in black women wrestlers. And I remember that time. That was a very sad time in wrestling for women. So I'd give her that. You know what I mean? I'd definitely give her that. Shouts to Naomi too, man. Naomi was around, man. The Funkadactyls and shit.
Oh, she came up from the Funkadactyls, bro.
Yep.
She came up from the
From
Funkadactyls, bro.
Brodus Clay.
I only mentioned that because I was talking to somebody recently and she was just like, yo, I fuck with that girl that used to be with the other black chick that was dancing with that fat guy. And I was like, you mean the Funkadactyls? What in the fuck? Where did this even... This is the one thing you want to ask me about in wrestling is the Funkadactyls.
What a description.
Shit. But salute to her, yo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, she knew her wrestling. I was like, shit, that's so fucking random. But, yeah, man.
Word.
Chad, what you got?
All right, so Elimination Chamber is on the way this coming February. No matches announced yet, as we all know, but we can speculate some of the matches that will be there as the number one contenders. Women's title match for Rhea Ripley's belt. What else do we have? We've probably got a tag team title match, possibly.
You think they're gonna run Rhea and Nia there?
Yeah, filler. I think some filler.
She'll probably main event that.
Yes, because she's Australian.
Yeah,
I think
she's
all the
Australian. There is no Roman, and Seth is out.
All the Australians are going to get a good look. Grayson Waller is going to have his talk segment. Bronson Reed's probably going to be... He's been getting more spotlight as the weeks have gone on Raw, so I think I wouldn't be surprised if he challenges Gunther at Elimination Chamber for the Intercontinental title. So, no, he can't. Gunther can't go to Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, he can't go there yet. He can't leave the U.S. for a little bit.
There we go. So, with no Gunther, no Roman, no Seth, this is going to be a hell of a pay-per-view. This is like B-level than a motherfucker.
But this
like,
is opportunity.
This is
opportunity. This chaos is opportunity.
Right.
This is a fast lane pay-per-view. So before we get into predictions and talk about that, we'll save that for maybe another show coming up before the pay-per-view. What is y'all favorite Elimination Chamber match? I don't know if we talked about this last Elimination Chamber. We might have, but fuck it, new audience. What is y'all favorite Elimination Chamber match? Only one. Give me the match, the year, and the winner.
2019, Houston, Texas. It was Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe. Daniel Bryan walked in as the champ and walked out as the champ.
Yo, that's a crazy lineup, by the way.
Yo, think about that fire that's in there, right? Daniel Bryan walked in as the champ. This is when he had the hemp belt.
That was a good reign.
This was the hemp belt. This was on the way. This was mid Kofi Mania, right? This is before before Kofi won the title against Daniel Bryan at Mania, right? So we're in that era, right? Kofi Kingston is heating up, and remember that the way that this ended, they were the last two, and they had a barn burner just going. Because
we all thought that Kofi was gonna pull it off here.
Yeah, we had a barn burner, so that was it. Because like again, Bryan, AJ Styles, who's still in the E, Jeff Hardy, who's over in AEW right now, Kofi Kingston, who's wearing basketball shorts now. But he's still in the E.
Wavy.
Randy Orton.
Kofi just be wearing whatever you want. Kofi come through with some basketball shorts, some good ones, and just like, yo, I'm here to wrestle.
I'm here.
What y'all want to
do? And Samoa Joe, who's the AEW champ. All of these guys, everybody from this match is still active and still relevant. To one degree or another, but still active.
That is
and still
relevant. That's such a wild. Yo, dog, it's crazy to think about the time that we was in, bro.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Holy smokes.
That was a good one, and this was the year before the pandemic when everything got crazy.
Yo, word.
This was before
2019.
Kofi Mania. This was before Brock Lesnar took Kofi's title away from
This
him.
is this
For
is the
time.
road to Kofi Mania. This is the
Yeah.
next pay-per-view was Mania when he won it.
This was wild.
This is heel Brian. I think this was his second to last Mania. Or was it 21? When did he leave?
21 was the last one. That was the triple threat against
Yeah.
Edge and Roman.
Yeah.
Seems like ages ago at this point.
But heel Brian on top as with the hemp belt. He had not
I
Luke.
remember that. Yeah.
Who was it? Luke Gallows?
Jeez.
Not Luke Gallows. Who was his man? Redbeard.
Luke Harper.
Luke Harper. No.
Eric. I think Eric.
Eric
Rowan.
Eric Rowan. I said
Eric Rowan.
Eric
Yeah.
Rowan.
That was his homie. His. So yeah, that was amazing match. Like 2019. Because I went to look at some of these, and to be completely honest, I didn't watch a lot of the Elimination Chambers because I wasn't tapped in for some of the ones that on paper looked like ones that I would enjoy. But this one I remember vividly. Amazing.
Word. So
Ron, what you got?
I had to go and look some of them up because obviously there's been so many elimination chambers, but the one that struck out to me was the elimination chamber from 2020, and it was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, and it was
Oh yes, that was the tag team
Yep, the tag team
elimination chamber.
and it was let me see, let me read. It was Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker, Lucha House Party, Grand Metalik, Liz Dorado, Ziggler and Robert Roode versus
This is another era, bro.
yo
Holy
what a
moly.
time,
the New Day versus the Miz and John Morrison, and the Miz and John Morrison actually retained the titles. And
What year is this?
this is 2020.
This is during the pandemic.
This is, I guess, this is
Just before.
just before. Well, I guess in and out because this was March 8th.
Oh
This
yeah,
was
so
right
it was.
before.
It's like I guess like
World
at the-
just
at
shut
the-
down in February.
Mm-hmm. And then what reminded me, what came to my head was one of the Lucha House Party. I don't know which one it was. It was one of them climbing up to the roof of the cage and jumping down. And I was like, yo, I gotta find which year this was. And John Morrison did the same thing. And then I looked at the match again. Yo, it was just pure chaos. And I was like, this is dope. People are gonna die, but this is dope.
People are gonna die. It's crazy.
I was like,
Somebody's gonna. That man has a family.
yo, that's it. Yo, because I was like, yo, I remember that specific moment where he had climbed up to the cage and just jumped down like a little, like a damn spider. And I was
That's
like, yo,
funny.
this was insane. And then I looked back at it like for like the highlights and stuff. I was like, yo, this match was insane from like beginning to end. And there weren't too many. I don't think there were too many tag team elimination matches. So I was like,
Nah, there wasn't.
this was fire. And The Miz and John Morrison retained. So I was like, yo, this is fire.
That was a random one. Good.
And I think this was
That was the start of them doing different title chambers. if I'm
I
not
think so.
mistaken.
Yeah, because I don't remember them doing the tag titles for the chambers before that.
They did women's, they did Intercontinental, which has me feeling like Logan Paul is going to be in for the chamber,
Logan Paul, yeah, he could
for
be.
the U.S. title.
That would be insane. And I think this
is how you get to L.A. in Logan Paul.
I think this is the same one where Otis crashed through the chamber, like through one of the cages or whatever, and crashed into the outside, I believe.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that whole match was crazy, and I kind of forgot about it. But I was like, I look back at it, I was like, nah, this is insane. It was just chaos from like start to finish.
Mine would have to be the 2006 Royal Rumble, 2006 Elimination Chamber. That was, I ordered that pay-per-view. And I remember that pay-per-view like it was vividly yesterday because it felt like it was yesterday. But I remember that one because it was red cable box. Remember that one?
Oh well, Jesus.
I remember that shit. I was like, yo, I actually ordered this pay-per-view. Because I was there for that era. It was like,
Damn,
let me run down the card real quick.
that was a time,
Sure.
man. Jeez.
Chavo defeated Snitsky to open the show. Ric Flair defeated Edge by disqualification for the Intercontinental title. And Flair was the champion.
Damn, I forgot he had. That's was it Revolution?
Yeah,
era?
Evolution.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that whole That whole thing, man.
Trish Stratus beat Mickie James for the women's title. She retained. Jerry Lawler defeated Gregory Helms. Triple H defeated the Big Show. I don't even remember this one.
Wow.
I don't even remember these two having a feud, but I was like, whoa. Shelton Benjamin with Mama Benjamin beat Viscera. I remember that era.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? Shelton Benjamin and Mama Benjamin?
I was there for that era. I don't know if you remember that era, but Shelton Benjamin used to be a mama's boy.
I saw clips of that.
That's a clip.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin used to have his like a fake mom. Like, remember that old black mom that used to be on television? Like, She basically played the role of Shelton Benjamin's mom.
Yeah, Thea something. I forgot.
Yes. And Viscera was just
from UPN. What the woman from UPN?
Yep.
Yo, what show that she did with Brandy and Jason Weaver? That's where I knew her from.
Yep. And
you know what I'm talking about. I forgot the name.
Remember.
Yeah.
And Viscera was in a heavy singles gimmick at that time. He was the pajama man. He was the sexual chocolate, Viscera.
I remember that. Oh my God, yo, I remember that. And
they might order this pay-per-view. I paid for this.
Man.
I got my work check. It was like, I'm totally ordering this pay-per-view.
Yo, they owe you.
Ashley Massaro defeated Candice Michelle, Maria, Tori Wilson, and Victoria in a Braun Panties gauntlet match. Would never fly in this era.
This is a different era. Yo, looking back on matches like that, be like, knowing everything that we know now, it's like, God.
Yo, you know what's crazy? That match was longer than most of this card. The next longest match was Triple H and Big Show. That's 16 minutes. The Braun Panties gauntlet was 11. That was wavy. The main event was John Cena beat Carlito, Chris Masters, Shawn Michaels, Kane, and Kurt Angle in the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship.
Yo, run that back again.
John Cena beat Carlito, Chris Masters, Shawn Michaels, Kane, and Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship. This was peak we hate Cena era. This was peak, yo, we don't want to see Cena win. Like anybody but I think like Chris Masters was like the last two, I think. And we were like, yo, Chris Masters is gonna be WWE champion. And like it was
this is right before Angle left then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking if he was 2006. So.
Yeah.
And then Edge cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase almost a year later at the acquiesce to Vince McMahon, lifted the cage up, and I remember I was there like, yes, Cena's bleeding, Cena's like and then Edge came through, smoked him and won the title, and then lost 3 weeks later back to Cena. But it was Edge's first WWE title reign, and as an Edge guy, I was like, yo, this is dope to see Edge like win the WWE Championship. It was a big deal, big reaction. I think we all went crazy. Like, I know I went crazy for it when I saw Edge win. So I think that was probably one of my favorite Elimination Chambers because I watched 2005, but Triple H won 2005, so we were all just like, whatever, yo. But John Cena, that was the era. Definitely Elimination Chamber 06 was probably, which was essentially New Year's Revolution 2006. You know what I'm saying? That one was my most prominent because I remember watching that, sitting through that, and hoping that Cena didn't win. He did win, but they didn't win. So I got the best of both worlds.
Word.
Yeah.
The last match doesn't. How was the match? Was the match good? Because there's some names in there, so I would imagine the match was alright. Because the rest of that card is nuts. So at least was that match like
that match was good, but we knew the outcome. It was one of those like it was a Roman match at the time. It was like we know how this is gonna go.
Super Cena.
Which is why I was like, yo, Chris Masters might actually win this shit. Carlito might actually win this shit. And then it was like, nah, it's not happening. Super Cena. And the Edge came through and ruined that party. So that was pretty good. That was really fucking good. So
what a time.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
I gotta. That card is insane.
Yeah.
Man said the second longest match of the night was the Big Show versus Triple H.
Well, the Chamber was 30 minutes.
4 miles an hour.
The Chamber was 30 minutes, but you know how the Chamber goes. Like, it ain't really.
Yeah.
It ain't too much going on in there for everybody.
It's a rumble in the cage.
Yeah, rumble in the cage. So the longest match was Elimination Chamber, then the Braun Panties Gauntlet, and then Triple H and the Big Show. Oh my God. I'm about to go through YouTube and sit through that again and see how bad that actually was. That might make the list for our end of the year worst matches of all time.
Yeah.
Which match is that again? You said
Triple H versus the Big Show for 16 minutes in the 2006 New Year's Revolution pay-per-view.
Oh, Lord. Oh Lord, that does sound painful. Just a
Was
little.
that the first? That wasn't the first elimination chamber, was it?
Nah, that was the second. No, the third actually. The first one was Survivor Series '02. The second one was New Year's Revolution.
That's what's crazy about '02 is that's the year that I stopped watching, but I stopped right after Mania. So I literally don't have any recollection of watching like the Shawn Michaels return live or that Brock win against The Rock live. I don't have any live watching recollection of Brock Lesnar like the rookie year
I
or
couldn't.
heel Rock. You
I
know what I
couldn't.
mean? I was out after
Oh,
That was my favorite ever.
I remember that Rock,
yeah,
that
I
heel
was
Rock
out
Yeah,
match.
that was
after
good.
I was there for that. Yeah.
I was out after Stone Cold's last match. So I saw like some heel Rock, but the rest of that run until he got out of there. Nope.
Nah, I remember that era vividly too. That was a good era, son.
No,
Goldberg
wait a
still
minute. Wait a
good.
minute. No. Because like '02, he was still a face and they were booing him against Brock.
Yes, and then he went to
Yeah.
go do because they knew he was leaving. Like, yo, go do your
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Get out
Yep.
of here.
So what's crazy is like I was kind of out then, and then I remember for whatever reason I watched that Mania for Austin's last match, but like I didn't even really watch much leading up to that shit. I was out until the pipe bomb.
I
I
can't
mean, a
say
long ass time.
2002 Elimination Chamber because I watched it through the granny screen. You remember how the granny screen was?
Yeah.
But you
Yep.
didn't get the pay per view, but she was like, I get the channel,
Yeah,
so
you
I
can
can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Triple H.
Yo,
Oh,
to be cousins of
Shawn
mine,
Michaels.
we all be like huddled around. Nobody's moms is buying the pay per view, so we over there just huddled around a joint.
Yo, I remember hearing like, yo, Paul Heyman just screwed Brock Lesnar. I was like, what? Fuck, let me get on the message board.
Jeez. Wow.
What a time.
I missed that part.
Yeah, I gotta sit through the '02 Elimination Chamber again, but I say '06 was probably my favorite sleeper. Definitely.
Word. Okay.
Elimination Chamber on the way.
About that time, this was episode number 73.1. If y'all missed the first half or whatever of this show, you can go and catch that. That's available. I'm gonna try to at least splice the audio together, so that's gonna be on one file.
All right.
But there's 2 videos for the video version. But yeah, tap in. We'll catch y'all next week. We do have an exit survey
Yeah.
as written by the God himself, Chad Law. Will we see another TNA / WWE crossover in 2024? I
Tough question.
With the reaction with Jordan Grace,
Something could happen at SummerSlam. You never know. Survivor Series,
I can see it happening again.
Blood Money. Saudi could be like, hey, we want Jordan Grace back.
Yeah, possibly you can have her back. You know what I'm saying? Could be a few.
They got
people.
the Saudis got the money for that shit. They could really be like, yo, we actually like that thing. Let's bring those TNA guys over. Anything could happen. So I was gonna say no, but you know what? There's still major pay-per-views to go this year. So I think we could see another crossover, especially because of the reaction that this one got.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see it.
I don't think so.
Stupid. Silly terms.
Yeah, corny ass Levesque. He had more to say about that Forbidden Door and Tony Khan, and they say shit about his pops-in-law. You know what I mean? He had more to say about that shit.
He had I'm gonna
He
shoot
didn't
Triple H
even
some
come.
hell.
No, I'm not, because you had time to just come up with a fucking prepared lawyer statement, get ahead of that shit, and then refer everybody back to the statement that I just gave. Like, his PR game was awful.
I'm gonna shoot him some bail in the sense that he had the whole fucking company and show and weekend to run. Like, he's like, yo, I have a lot on my plate. I got a fucking heart murmur. I got some shit inside of me. Like, yo, Vince, you're a nasty dude. Handle what you gotta handle. Steph, handle that. But like, yo, I gotta hold the business. Like, I got this shit right here. Like, I already got
correct. You're correct about all of that, except for the fact that the way that he answered the questions. Just be like, look, you come out there. I'm freestyling right now, right? But you come out there and say, listen, we're aware of the allegations. This is an open case. We have lawyers that are handling this. Unfortunately, we can't comment too much more, but we condemn, obviously, the nature of what's in those, blah, blah, blah. He went out there and said, nah, I didn't read it.
Yo, to shoot him bail, he got to run the whole paper. He got to run a company. He's
I
like,
get it.
Dude, I got shit
it.
in motion. I don't want to.
Dog, I understand. whether he did or didn't, you don't come out there and just say, "Nah, I didn't read that shit," because that comes off like I don't give a fuck about what just happened. I'm over here worrying about the wrestling. I'm worrying about this Netflix deal. I'm worrying about the Rock on the board. And while that may be true, you have people that are gonna fuck. There's no. First of all, that's a lose-lose situation. There's no way to win in that situation if you're Triple
Agreed.
H. But you
I
don't
agree.
dig yourself a bigger hole by just like kind of side swaying that shit. You come out there with a fucking PR, that's what PR people are for. You know what I mean? Come a prepared statement, but whatever's clever. Fuck
Yeah.
Vince, shoot him. TNA, nah. I don't think that that they show back up because I'm thinking about like when somebody from TNA last was there. What's her name?
Mickey James.
Mickey James. We didn't see anybody else. This is a new regime, obviously. New creative, there's new relationships. What scares me about some of these relationships that sometimes is like historically, like WWE doesn't give a fuck about your promotion. If they can buy it and ruin the territory, they'll do that shit and take whoever's a star, kill the rest of that shit. You see what happens in England. You saw what happened going all the way back to Hulk Hogan days and AWA and all those guys when Vince wanted to go national. But this is a new era, a new regime. It's a completely brand new company that's not run by a McMahon at this point. So,
Right.
you
See
I
some
think
different things, yeah.
it's really determined by two things. Is there something interesting and cool creative, like a cool creative moment? And then really is it beneficial for WWE to give television time to a company that they don't have any financial interest in? So, but for those reasons, I'm
Good
saying no.
points. Very
Okay.
good points. Very good
Word.
points.
I hear that.
I can't knock those.
All right.
It's the RSC. It's the Almighty.
We out of here. RSC 73 in the bag. We'll catch y'all next week. Make sure you tap in. You heard? Peace.